So, everyone, welcome to the dedication show here at BTMX to the band Sepsis. We have Melissa Wolf in the house. We got William Savant. We got Mr. Johnny in the corner. I haven't talked to Johnny in a while, so it's good to see him on the show. We started off one of my favorite songs from you guys, "Falling in Love," and it's just an honor that you guys took out time of your day to come on the show. And the reason why we've created this dedication show is because if it wasn't for these people in this amazing band, BTMX wouldn't exist. So I wanted to honor them because this was about around the same time I first met them and became entranced into their content. So 2 years ago, I was in a really bad place, and then I start watching Sepsis and following them, and then I start learning from them by watching their streams, talking to them on the side about how each of us can have our own gifts and how we can actually, if you care about it, turn it into something. So I wanted to, BTMX wanted to pay our respects to these amazing group of talented people and have them on our show. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Dude, that's a crazy intro. I don't know what the
that was
fuck that thing. I don't know if I can live up to that really. But that was quite the intro. Can you guys hear us all right? That was the audio.
You're perfect. You're perfect.
Oh, fantastic. All right, great. So no, thank you guys for inviting us. Man, that seems like such a prestigious roll of the red carpet. That's a long way to the door. But no, I mean, now that you pointed it out, so we work really hard sometimes, and
sometimes
what happens is we're so used to just going that sometimes you forget how many steps you've taken or what, you know what I mean, because you're just and it's not a race, it's just we're always in forward motion. And I guess I didn't really notice. I haven't measured how long that we've all been family like that. I really haven't sat back and been like, I've watched BTMX just expand and just become so many things. And in today's world, trying to do what Sepsis is doing, what you guys are doing at our level, at our humble level, the technology is so important to us because at this humble level, no one else is really going to pay attention. So this is a way. This is how we met. A lot of us met, especially like during the lockdowns and during the times when we couldn't physically be at shows. So for us, it's always been for us, Facebook and technology and streaming and going. I mean, when you could first go live. We were thrilled. I mean, a lot of bands might have not been thrilled, or companies might have not caught on to that.
We were used to live.
We've always been used to talking to our fans live, because I mean, it was the only way anybody would talk to us anyway.
It's a great way to communicate.
So we weren't really good. Yeah, we weren't really good at anything. Going far enough back. But we were good at making friends. And I think when it comes in terms of BTMX and what we do here and the Swarm, is that it's not just about a song or a lyric or a riff or even a single movement or a person or a color or a version or there's no certain height that you have to be to get on the fucking ride. I think when in terms of, cliques and groups online, and you have all these, you got Clubhouse and you got the Snapchat people and most people that use Facebook are people in India. Most people don't know that. But but the bubble is so thick that you'd think if you're on any one of these apps that everybody's doing it.
Right.
You think if you're a YouTuber, your life is fucking YouTube, man. If you're on Chatterbait, your life is Chatterbait, dude. If you're on Streammate, your life is Streammate. If you're on Live, I'm serious. If your life is porn online, you think that's if it's Trump and kitty litter, then that's your fucking world. If it's Halo and Contra, to you the internet is gaming. Yep. If it's shopping, it's shopping. But I think people, as far as like DJs and bands and personalities on Facebook, there's such a very small percentage of people here in this very small community that are responsible for the output on Facebook. Did that ever fucking occur to anybody? There's not a lot of BTMX. So when I think of BTMX, I think of big fish in a small pond. And sometimes that when you catch a fish like that and you reel it in and you never fucking seen it before, you know, people want to classify it and they want to come up with their own category and they want to own it and play fucking Barbie dolls and fuck around. And it can become misunderstood really easily.
For sure.
Because in terms of people like you and I, we have something in common. People don't give a fuck about us. We come from a place where nobody gives a fuck. So that's something. And you know, when in terms of the technology, and we make friends of each other, I go, holy shit! I see what BTMX is doing. I go, wow, you know, I kind of care about that. I like that. I like what they're doing. And we're living in a time where it's not very popular to like something that somebody's doing unless the whole group likes what they're doing or the whole group appears to like the image of what somebody appears to be doing. So in terms of BTMX, you can become misunderstood a lot because you have to wear many fucking hats when people don't give a shit about you. You have to sell a little ice cream. You have to sell a little pussy. You have to sell some beats. You have to put on a different hat. You have to wear many hats as an internet personality, as a podcaster. Sepsis gets misunderstood all the time because they think that we're a band. And then they get misunderstood because we're a movement. And then they get misunderstood. I mean, there's if we go down the aisle, it'd be easy for me to reclassify and categorize and try to highlight and come up with all kinds of different categories and catalogs. And that's what could be, you know, misunderstood about brands like BTMX and even Sepsis because of that bubble and the reasons why people are on the internet. So I haven't really thought about how long that we've known you guys, but it's been quite some time.
It's been a few years, hasn't it?
Yeah, and you all have grown so much. I was just telling them before we come on, from here on out, as far as like Facebook personalities go and like Facebook pages and groups, I hope this is documented for life. If I will never do another fucking interview with like an internet radio station or a Facebook group, like as far as like BTMX is concerned or any of our partners or affiliates or people that fuck with us. But I've come to a point in my life, and it's not because I think that I'm a high quality human being, but you got to draw a line. Like I refuse from here on out to do any as far as William, I can't say for the rest of the band. I will help them set up interviews, but unless it's you guys, unless they're affiliated with our band, I refuse. I don't give a fuck if you're Loudwire. I will fucking ignore anybody that ever. So now BTMX is an even more important place, and I've added value because you will not catch an interview with William anywhere else on Facebook. So if you want to ask me a question, now's the time.
So another thing, as you were stating all that, it's very true. We do have many faces, but what we learned when COVID first happened, you guys went from like being on stage a lot to being shut in the house. And it was wrong because the world needed to hear what you had to say through your music. Because if a lot of us, you're like big fans, which we call ourselves the Swarmies, is the reason why Melissa is a queen. When she lyrically puts her voice to a mic, you can hear the emotions that she is put into the song. And then when Will comes in behind her and brings out that growl, them two mashing together is like angelic music, which makes you think about every part of the song and not just separating it.
Thank
That's
you
really
so much.
powerful.
You know, it's funny you say that. You know, a lot of people may consider us to be like a female-fronted band, but we're actually really more of a duet.
Yeah, we duet better.
Duet.
No,
musicians duet
no, but
better.
I know. I over time. So the first song we ever wrote was "To Write Hate on His Arms," and it was supposed to be kind of an audition song. It was just to kind of test our ability. It sounded a lot different than it does today. But it was the same in the sense of it was like a woman and a man singing together.
Mm-hmm.
And when we start, I didn't know what a female fronted band was. I didn't know anything about any kind of like rock and roll or like scene cliches. I had not been privy to that. I had not been turned on to all the different what is metal and how metal was something. I was completely new to that. So I had no clue at that time what the fuck that was even. I just wanted to create a band with my friend, and we thought it was pretty cool that, you know, both. And I know at the time, you know, being me, I'm a little older than some of these guys. Hearing Melissa, it reminded me of like Evanescence, and it reminded me like Skillet and stuff like that. Like that's what it sounded like to me when I first heard Melissa, especially a young Melissa.
Wait a second. I don't mean to interrupt you because you guys are the special guests, but I want to compare Melissa to anybody else but you guys yourself because you guys are authentic. That sound you can't find anywhere else, and especially when you guys work together and you can tell that you guys are emotionally charged for that song, especially in one of your live performances. And if you guys missed that, this last event they had, it was beautiful. Especially when they're in tune together and you could tell that they're both having the same emotions at the same part of that song. So you guys can't be compared to like Evanescence and everybody else because they had their own emotions, and you guys are just pure because you guys don't only do it on the stage, but you're also true to your fans off the stage.
We didn't know that though
really
at first.
That.
It's important to know that we didn't know that though. So the only thing that I had ever had to relate any kind of rock and roll to were at that time when we were kids was those bands. I had never heard anyone.
We learned later on female fronted is really more of like a search term.
It's more of a catalog.
It's like something the fans like to use.
Or you use in a catalog if you're buying something.
Right.
But in terms of us, we're just a band. And you know,
it's just another way to find us. That's how we look at it.
And over time, we would play shows, and I didn't sing really with Melissa until people would come up with us. I would kind of mumble in the background in a shy way for clean singing. And people actually they started to request me to do it. And over time, it started to be more of a unison blend. That came over time, though. I would say we were both really shy on stage in the beginning. I'd say
for sure.
You could definitely tell the growth that you guys did, but it was never ever bad. It was always kept us coming.
Hey man, thanks man.
So
that really means a lot to me. I didn't think that we don't know that people think like that. You know, we don't know that people. So you sharing that with us means a lot. Thank you.
So when BTMX was created, it was created because of you guys in general. It was seeing the artists that were faithful but were stuck, and I was tired of watching a whole bunch of amazing artists just get walked over because they weren't big enough, and they were like trying to build a presence, but at that time you really couldn't because everybody was used to the old ways where you're either handing out flyers, passing out your music, or you were on stage. And then you guys came in quick because you guys were already doing it, the lives, which kept us all up to date with what you were doing, how you were growing, what happened to you, where the music is going. And then Melissa is not only the lead singer of Sepsis, but she's also the owner of ICG. She's also a model. I mean, the whole entire team has so many sets of skills that are not just musical, and if you pay attention to them, which you can, to do a lot of their contents over the Swarm. Go join it. It's a perfect group, especially if you are an up-and-coming artist to actually have business-like family to guide you and not bullshit you. And that's why BTMX, and that's what you guys taught me what BTMX needed to be. It needed to be an open platform so everybody had content to come and be themselves and not have judgment.
The internet's running out of places like that.
That's
why that's why we fight so relentlessly. That's why we talk about it so much. Because we are a big fish in a small pond. And when you reel it in, it's hard to classify or know what it is. And when you pull in a big fish that nobody's ever seen before out of a little body of water, people go, oh my God, you know, throw it back. We don't want, you know what I mean? And it's tough being the only kid like that on the block.
Yeah.
And you guys certainly have your road cut out for you, man. You guys are ambitious, but dedicated people, and really nobody's ever shared English like that with me before. So that's really memorable, man. I'm glad that we could make such an impression because we don't know that we do. You know, there are some fans that reach out and say, hey man, we're getting sober through this music, or hey, we're raising our kids with this music, or hey, we go to the streams every Saturday, or we play video games with you and Melissa, and it keeps me off of drugs. It keeps me clean. It keeps me thinking. And we do get that. And that, you know, when we do receive the kind of English and the kind of feedback that of that quality to us, it really helps us, because we go through a tough time just like anybody else, you know, and we have the same type of insecurities and the same type of doubts and the same type of volumes and intensities that all people have, you know. And you know, if you look on Facebook, it might look like we're always happy or we're always, you know, but you know, we go through it and we work really hard and we have our ups and downs and health and family.
And
But for the sake of people,
I think that's what a lot of people's problem is that they don't think about the artists as people. They worry about their music, and that's what makes this different here. Is because talking to you guys and watching you guys and your content, you were showing us the people that you are, and not just your content. You weren't force feeding your content down their throat. You were showing us your guys' struggles. You were showing us how it was to be truly who you are at home, and I think that's what entitled me to do this, was because I wanted to make sure the artist was seen behind the music, and in doing so, now I've had great interviews with a lot of amazing people, and that's all because of you guys bringing that part out of me and believing in me. Now we do have some comments I would like to get to. We have Geo in here, which thank you for that 1,500 stars. We appreciate that so much. You guys, yeah, 1,500 stars. And the nice thing about the stars, what we're doing, we're actually gathering them all up and giving them back to the fans. We're not keeping none of that money. We're actually giving that back to the fans from different shows.
That's amazing.
What I think is great is that it's in the circle of and the ability of you guys to do that. I love you for that.
That was from Geo. He sent those 1,500 stars. Thank you so much. And he says, I support those who support Sepsis. He said he also says the guy have arrived. We got Juggalo for Life 420 over there on Twitch with the Sepsis stars. And it, guys, if you guys are watching our content actually on Twitch, if we're not live and Sepsis is live, we automatically host their channel, so you no matter what, if they're live, you'll automatically see their content. You got ICG Han in here, which, you know, saying hi to Uffy. Geo says, well, I mean, height is a consideration, but that's just me. I stand with Sepsis.
Man, that's heavy.
Han says, hippie rock metal. Geo says, Sepsis is tangible passion. It's something you can't listen to. It's something you feel. Juggalo says Sepsis its own unique sound. You got Geo, you know, doing the support. We also got Queen Stoner in here, which is actually one of my partners and managers here at BTMX. She's also one of our models and show hosts. She says you can see and tell how much passion you guys put into the music you make and the content you guys do. You guys are unique and reach a special crowd, and it's amazing. You guys are so diverse. It's incredible.
God, you know what? I never feel like that. And then when you guys say that, I feel like a child, like a young person. You know what I mean?
You're all giddy inside.
Yeah, like because we don't feel okay. I yell at these guys a lot at practice. No, but I don't really feel that good. Do you ever feel that good? Do you feel like you're an awesome rocker? Like, what do you think, Melissa? Do you feel that you're as good as they're talking about?
I feel like we could always be better.
That scares me. You know? Right. We're always like chomping at the bit, trying to improve.
So we do got some more comments. We got Han with Sepsis Band is the queen and king of New England music, which they are, because every time they go for that voting, my whole entire team is dedicated to making sure they get that fucking trophy. I don't care. I'll even give away free BTMX merch to people to show me that they cast votes.
Right on.
We got, and then Queen Stoner says, the thing is that matters is you guys stay together and bounce back because you guys are human too and deserve to breathe. And it's not just being known for your music, but be known as who you guys are. Incredible souls for real.
No, that's something that we really believe in, because all of our favorite artists, I think collectively, and I could passively speak for everybody here, but all of our favorite artists that I can remember, all were like soul-bearing, open people. We really feel that the best artists have to live a lot, you know, to write great music. And our writing doesn't come for a quest for money. Our writing, the music we write, doesn't come for a quest for fame. It doesn't come It's not motivated by a quest to be around celebrities. We don't write hoping that we're going to play for a big festival. We really write music that we feel the planet deserves. And when we write music, we don't intend on it to be a hit or to be better or to be, we write music and we hope that it's competitive and we hope that it's quality, but we want it to be different and we want it to challenge the constructs of what we think is appropriate with rock and metal, and we want to push that. We want to push ourselves. Yeah, that's true. Johnny's right.
A lot of it comes from pain in living.
Yeah, really, it really does. And if you can look in our songs, there's layers of like each song, even like instrumentally, it has its ups and downs. You have the parts that are really bright and parts that are dramatic and parts that might have lullabies and then parts that might be dangerous or sexual or dreamy or fantasy.
There's a
or
lot of emotions
there's a lot of different layers where, because our music is really designed to be enjoyed over time. Like chicken nuggets, you might love immediately, but they don't have much nutrition quality, whereas a home cooked meal take time to really appreciate. There's a recipe, it traveled down through generations, your grandmother cooked, you know what I mean? So it's like, yes, we love chicken nuggets and that's delicious and we can get to those quickly.
But there's so many more flavors to be
had. But with Sepsis, it's like, you know what I mean? There's all these different seasonings. And if you get to learn the music, you can appreciate different parts.
I know, now you're making me hungry.
But now I'm talking to a band, and if I start talking about seasonings, everyone's going to leave. So we're going to keep that.
All right, so we do got some more comments I'm going to get to before I ask you guys some more questions. We got Juggalo for Life over there on Twitch going, greetings, everyone. Oh, hell, the swarm. Oh, hell, the swarmies. We got Han saying, Sepsis band that's always pushing the envelope. They go further and fight harder. Juggalo says, I'm always trying to spread the swarmy love. Gio says, we'll always have backlight. Oh, blacklight. So one of my
we're not playing blacklight this year.
So
much love.
So
I told everybody last time, I warned everybody that we're not going to play at all this year on stage unless if we show up and we play any live. We don't have any live shows booked, but if we do and we play a set, I promised everybody, all the Sepsis fans, all the swarmies across the world, new and old, we will not play blacklight no matter what. And we will start unplugging the equipment unless, of course, we start finishing the set and they go bananas. That's the only way that song is going to get played 2023, or we're going to leave the building.
So I think all us fans, what we should do is just arrive with a whole bunch of blacklight sticks and just wave them at you at the end and say, "Fucking play the song!"
right. No, that's what I mean. You got the bartenders got to be nervous. Like, hold on, they got it. Like the bartenders got to hold on. You guys got to plug that back in. I don't know if we can. If we're going to move on. That's the plan.
Saving it for the encore.
Yeah.
So definitely, seeing you guys on stage talking about how you were saying like you guys all have different emotions, you could definitely tell when Johnny is filling a part of the song, or even when Mr. Goodbars is on that piano, or when you got Caleb. You can tell when each one of you are into that part of the song that you guys are playing, because you can see the emotion on your face and the way that you guys pick up the the energy. Each of you have your own different expression, but it all comes together beautifully, and that's what keeps us enthralled in what you guys do. For the simple fact is, you guys, no matter if you guys are having issues before you get on stage, all those issues disappear, and then you're just Sepsis.
That's true. No, we kind of like to think of ourselves as the heavy metal Power Rangers. We are when the outfits come on and we get on stage, you know what I mean, and we just that's when as we put the power on, and we're like comic book characters. Yeah. Like Johnny gets in. Johnny's is not the same. You're absolutely right. Like, I'm surprised you're able to pick that up. These people turn into completely different. I've seen people that know Melissa her whole life, and you know what I mean, and not been to a show in years or never seen you play, and somebody known you from your childhood or something, and they see you play for the first time. Last year was a good example of that. And people, they were just like, what the hell? It's hard to believe that's the same person you would talk to in the kitchen. And John's the same way, man. These guys, I don't know. I've never played, and I'm not trying to be smart I play with guys all over the region. I've been playing for 25 years in the region. I do hip hop, metal, rock, R&B, reggae, commercials, voiceovers, you name it. I mean, I've just been doing it my whole life. Acting, singing, songwriting, talent building. I work for arenas. I built shows for Kiss, Motley Crue, Askin Alexandria, Disney on Ice, Zach Brown Band, Ariana Grande, Boys to Men, Alice Cooper. So that's where I got my start as a stagehand. So I've been watching these guys perform my whole life, you know, and then now to watch these young adults, dude, I say that because I'm a little bit older than some of these guys here. But to watch them grow has been like, I can put the guitar, Billy, I could put the fucking guitar down and sit down and smoke a joint. These guys are I could I could take a vacation. These guys are so, I mean, I've never played. So as for as long as I've been playing, I've never played with a group of young people that with no computers, no electronics, no smoke and mirrors. Well, they might have smoke and mirrors actually, but no tricks, no synthetic stuff, no AI technology. These guys, these young people get on stage and they're able to recreate that theater. They're able to put that fucking costume on and save the fucking world every time that they, you know, and you know, people ask me all the time, do we practice all the choreography? And for sure, like some of it, you know,
yes and no.
But there are these moments, you know what I mean? When you're like, you know, there's these times that they do something and you can see me on stage. I'm looking at them just blown the fuck away that they just pulled something off. You know, reverse corkscrews through the air. Everyone's landing at the same time. Like some of that stuff, it's just been from years of being with these people and being physical with them. We're the same people.
There was one time where me and you had the same hair flip.
Joe snare flam, hair flip. I mean, everybody when everybody puts a foot down, crazy. Everybody puts a foot down. It's a very strange thing.
I'll say one thing too. It means everything to me because I'm not a writer or anything like that. So everything that I do on my spare time, I try and make my best friend's dream come alive. So while I'm up there, every note counts.
Dang, Johnny, that's real.
So wait a second, because talking about Johnny, if you guys talk to him on the side, if you guys know him, he's an amazing soft person, but when he gets on the stage, he turns into a metal god. He puts that fucking guitar on and he gets to work.
Johnny's ferocious. You never know. You would never know. No, it's true.
No, we're a very physical bunch when we're on stage. Our band likes to move in a way where we all move as one.
The whole stage, we try to make the stage kind of come at you, you know? The stage twists and turns.
It's like Sepsis, like we're all together, but we're all like one person.
Most people when we come on stage, the biggest thing that the thing that people say to me the most is, I've never seen any band do that like that. That's the one that makes me when people say I've never seen people move like that. The music's great.
Sharing a dance.
Right. It's tribal. It's something that we do. It's like it's a physical experience.
Yeah. See, like I've paid attention to you guys in great detail. When you could tell when you guys are about to play, because Melissa has a certain face, and you can tell that she's turning in to her character that she needs for that set. And it seems like you guys all see her and then click on it as well. And then it's just like as soon as you guys see her ready, in your minds, you already know what's coming next.
Some bands, it's popular in rock and metal, especially in the smaller bands, it's popular to not take it serious. It's popular. Sure. Especially the younger bands. It's popular to not want to succeed. It's not cool if you try really hard. But that's true for a lot of the younger folks. But I'm not young, so I don't give a fuck. What we do, we actually try really hard because we see a lot of bands not trying at all. So we're like, oh fuck, imagine if we just tried a little. Because our whole thing is like, if you can be 2%, just 2. If your picture is 2%, if your voice is 1%, if your dancing is 3%, if your playing is 1% better than the average Joe, then you're above average.
So we
And
do.
that's something you can start with. So if I'm 1% better than my competitors, if we take everybody sings with laptops, so we won't. See what I'm saying? Now I have something different to offer. You know what I mean? So it's just, and you know, I'm not going to give you the blueprint, but it's things like that. You know what I mean? You see all the bands, they do the stuff on Facebook where they got the microphone out and the boy and the girl, they're singing on it, and they take the track from the album, you know, and they play the track from the album, they lip sync to it, and they, you know what I mean? And they have the backup vocals from the albums. So that's why you see us not do that. That's why we sing with no microphones, no PAs, no auto tunes. None. See what I'm saying? That's why when you see our Facebook stuff, that's when we won't do it. You see a bunch of bands standing there, that's why we won't stand there. Whatever other bands are doing, that's what we're doing. Whatever other bands can't do, we'll be there.
And that's what makes you guys so beautiful and majestic. So we do got some comments. We got Gio with take notes. Let me know how many black lights I'll take, William. We got Han with yeah, I see a whole nother side of you guys when you're on stage. Sometimes when I see you guys on stage, I feel like you're floating. Gio goes on with boop boop. Juggalo for life goes boop boop with the deep thoughts epicness. But going into like how you gotta understand when you guys reached so many of us and helped us out in such horrible times. Because when the lockdown happened, a lot of people were dying from COVID. A lot of people had losses, or just felt like they were pieces of shit because they were stuck. They didn't have no one to talk to. But watching you guys and having you interact with us the way it did helped us build ourselves as people. And then your stories of your music and the pain and the messages you were giving us was giving us the way to have a voice when we didn't have one, especially on topics that you guys were touching. So, like that song that you were talking about, writing hate on his arm. To me, that was a lot because that gave me a voice to a situation my sister was going through, where she was totally being devastated, but it gave me an understanding of both parts, the guy's part and the female's part, to their situation. So, when you guys are putting out music to you and your stories, a lot of us fans that are truly your fans, we don't just listen to it to say, "Hey, what's up?" We're listening to it for what you're teaching us now.
It's important to know. That's why we try to write it in such a, I wouldn't say transparent, but we want to make it like those books where while you're reading the book, everything's comprehensive, everything is in tandem. You know what I mean? But as you turn the pages and you start to move through the experience, you have the ability to interact with that experience, and you have the ability to interact from perspective and relate it to yourself in a way that's not, nobody ever has to be forced. There doesn't have to be any, like I said before, there's no height to get on the ride. So when people ask us, you know, what are you guys writing about? Like, I think that one is a little bit more clear than other songs that we've written. But it's a clear battle of good and evil. And I think we could all relate to that. So I mean, as a baseline, that song is about yin and yang and in and out and up and down and, you know, forces of nature, forces we can't control. Some loving, some destructive, but the ability to talk about that and to be able to look at life and appreciate life and look at death and not fear death and not fear the differences that we have in each other. And to challenge those differences with intelligent conversations and family and all the tools that we were given from our heritage and the people that came before us, man.
So I actually got Sean Kudo on here. He has a question for you guys as well, or something.
Not really a question. It's more like a statement. Now, what you guys' music reminds me of is two of my all-time favorite artists.
I will bitch slap you if you were to refer them to another band. I will fight for Sepsis. I will punch you in the face.
It reminds me. Hold on. It reminds me of like Carlos Santana back when he was just starting out.
Okay, I'll give you that because
Carlos Santana was legitimately an unknown entity in America. He came up here from Mexico, pure instrumental. Nobody ever heard his style ever before. And then he comes out with this beautiful sound right next to Bob Marley, another one of the guys who I idolize. And that's who you guys remind me of, because you guys have that intervention of, why don't we throw out the fucking rule book, get on the nitty gritty, and bust this shit down in a new fucking way, bring something new to the table, and not fucking care what people think, not worry about the fame and the fortune, because that's going to come once people actually realize you guys. And that's what it is with me, is it's because you guys remind me of those two artists from when they were back in their beginning, before they made it famous. Because Bob Marley came over here from Jamaica, and he actually was an unknown entity completely. Reggae was never heard of. And when he brought reggae over here, and he was the actual grandfather of reggae here in America, and when he brought it here, people were like, ooh, what's that? And it was something new, hot. They didn't know what it was, so they were kind of questioning it at first. But then once people start picking it up, it blew up like a wildfire.
See, like I've been a fan of Sepsis way before they even joined.
I appreciate that, because there is I appreciate that personally, because there, you know, I mean, everybody knows me and Melissa in our controversial posts. So there is a hint of fight in like reggae. There is a hint of activism. There is a hint that we've been kicked around a lot. There is a hint that we're pissed off. There is, and I can't, and there is a hint that we're gonna break some fucking rules. There is absolutely a hint of that in our music, and I can't think of anything more rock and roll than changing up and bending and breaking the fucking rules. So I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, there's some strokes of angst. Absolutely, man. Melissa touched on that earlier. That's beautiful.
So we got Harry Johnson here. What, Melissa, Will, and Johnny? We got Juggalo for life. He said, I'll fight you if you compare them to any other band. He's laughing, Juggalo is. Juggalo says, Sepsis saved my life. You are a family to me, Ohana. And then you got Harry with Stormy for life.
Sepsis saved my life too. So I appreciate you guys.
Real shit.
Sepsis saved a lot of our lives, and I think that's why we still rock.
Yeah.
That, like, people come up to me and be like, you know what, Will, Sepsis saved my life. And I'm like, it saved my life too, man. And they'll be like, really? And I'm like, yeah, that's why we can't quit. We're in a team. We gotta kind of hang out together. That's what we're doing. Now we're doing it. Now we're together. Now we're right. You know, we always say life's about ferry boats, and it's about getting on the one that doesn't fucking sink.
Goddamn right.
So I don't think yours gonna fucking sink, because I think you have a Viking-made boat where you're just gonna sail across and crush every motherfucker that's in your way. Because if you guys, like, you understand, a lot of us swarmies are like soldiers. There's a reason why we defend Sepsis, because what it means to us.
I can see that. We didn't know that until people were. We didn't know that the last couple of years. People don't fuck around anymore.
The swarmies swarm for
they do,
real.
right? You know,
they go for real.
And people who've never met the swarmies and don't know what they are, they're always looking at me and going, you know, are you talking about them as if there's something other than Sepsis? And I will say 100%. Like, there's like the swarm, the group, and like there's pages, but no. But a swarmy is something of their. A swarmy is the closest human being that you can get to being in the band.
They're like band members.
It's almost like a swarmy is the closest. It's the most public fan. You know, you got fans in your life that are like, I love BTMX, like, kind of when everybody else does and it's popular and things are going well. You got that kind of fan that, like, I love Melissa Wolf, you know, when everything's perfect and nobody's mad at her. You know, I love Will when he says everything that I agree with. There's like those fans.
Yeah.
And then there's fans that are like, hey, man, despite our differences, like me and Johnny have a lot of differences, but despite our differences, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's what molds us. That's what makes us. That's what defines us. And that's what brings us together. And that's what, with the swarm, I think that's what people misunderstand a lot. It's not about, like, there's a lot of groups where you have to be like somebody. You got to love Corey Taylor. You got to love this kind of metal. You got to love this kind of rap. With this sort of thing, it's like, we're defined by our differences, and what makes us a cool group, what makes a swarmy is the fact that they can be themselves.
They truly are like little wasps.
But they're like honeybees.
Soldiers that are
honeybees pollinate. Wasps sting the fuck out of people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
honestly, I love the swarmies so much. That's why I got it on my neck.
Like, no, these people have become. That's why I have a hornet on my face. That's why I have a hornet tattooed on my fucking face. Because that's how much I'll never turn back. There's no other height. There's no other platform. There's no other things that we do or commit ourselves. We'll always have jobs. We'll always work. And we're the type of people, we love what we do so much that there ain't a type of work, there ain't a type of a way that, obviously sensibly, that we're not willing to work hard and, try to achieve this thing. But we're not trying to find everybody, and we don't want to be loved by all. That's a wasp wouldn't want that. But a wasp would do what they want, what they need to do for the hive, man, to make sure it goes. And we might do a little pollinating, but not like honeybees. Honeybees, they pollinate and go and sniff the flowers and stuff. And we do a little bit of that. We do our part. But the hornets and wasps, they care about the hive. That's the they want to make sure and protect that can go, because realistically, this is what has set us free. Music saved my life a long time ago. I've been sober and out of turmoil for many years, and I own it all to my friends in the music and the people here that have given me the courage and the inspiration to be friends with you guys and to talk about my story and to make the music and share it with people. Right on.
And that, congratulations on holding on to your sobriety, because it had to become even harder, especially when the lockdown happened, because everything just piled up. And that I couldn't imagine
for those people that did have to go through that. I couldn't imagine being, under a spell. Not for me, not for what I had to endure. Too many people counting on me. I got kids, I got a family. And of course I got these amazing people in my life. Doing what we're trying to do, you can't get drunk. You can't, not what we're trying to do. You can't live like that day to day. You can't be stoned all day. You can't it might look like it on TV or something like that. But once we get offline, if we're ever offline, when we do, we're resting, we're living, we're drinking water, we're taking care of ourselves. We're not,
doing it, we're challenging ourselves, doing the next best thing.
We're working hard all the time for that 25 minutes, on stage, for you. Yeah.
So we got Harry with, I'm a huge fan of Johnny fucking Impact, boop boop. We got Han with honey, we're like honey badgers. We have Gio with Johnny does enough pollinating for all of us. Han says,
you see that on the
internet. We got Han with you definitely pollinate me, bro.
Okay, that's a powerful statement, Hans. Thank you.
Yeah.
But going back to about how you guys, the very first time I ever heard Melissa's voice, I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't even when she was a part of Sepsis. It was actually when she was featured with Mr. Goodbars, when she was rapping. That's the first time I ever heard her voice. And then I looked her up. I looked you guys up, and then I'm like, she's also a part of this metal band. So let's look into it. And I'm like, holy shit, they're legit
That's
people.
So funny. I think that was the one rap song I've ever done in my life.
And it was a joke. It wasn't so we just made it for because we have a gaming community. We have a Halo video. You guys know, but not everybody knows.
Immaculate Connection Gaming.
So for those that don't know, we have a Halo gaming community, and the song was dedicated to gaming, and we were doing kind of a music challenge. It was more of a music challenge, and Melissa came in the studio, and we had this song, and we were like, we're going to do this for the gaming community. And then we sat down and we wrote the rap, and she was like, I'm not doing this. She said, I'm not going to do this shit. This is ridiculous. And we were like, go on, just try, please, please, please. And everyone, and so Good Bars, it was supposed to be her and Good Bars on the song.
Mm-hmm.
And it was them, and I was going to do just a regular kind of chorus or hook. We hadn't figured it out yet, what the hook was going to be. And Good Bars said, maybe she'll do it if you use auto tune, because I've been making fun of these rappers and the auto tune and everything. And he goes, if you told Melissa you'll use auto tune, maybe she'll rap. I said, oh, I said, you know what? If she raps, I'll sing the whole hook and I'll use auto tune on all the tracks. I said, Bars, you can use as much auto tune as he goes, oh my God, really? Because he was so happy. And yeah, and then we did the song,
and then we made a music video too.
And then we went to the arcade and made just like a fun video. It was like just a nice affordable little video.
At the arcade too.
But we went to the arcade, we got ice cream, and we made a video. But it was for fun. It wasn't, and of course we put it online, and the band itself, we weren't doing anything at that time.
No,
we were really on hold, like not hiatus, but we were on hold. We had paused the band. We had barely put the page back online. We had the page hidden for a while, and just we had different life things going on. I'd broken my arm for 2 years. I was off stage. We had a bunch of things going on. I was sobering up. I was changing my life. I was really gearing up so we could make a professional approach at the project. Johnny was away getting clean. So we were all in the process of changing our lives. Bars had not rejoined the band yet. And so when you look at that rap song, when you look at those hip hop songs, what you're looking at is us getting new equipment and testing the equipment, with Melissa's voice, and testing the technology and looking at the cameras, and us kind of all getting sober and meeting back up and learning, okay, are we going to do this? And what kind of hats and what kind of departments are we all going to fill, and who's going to do what? And so when you look at Konami Code, when you look at those songs with Melissa and Good Bars, those were all the early labs. Those were all the tests. If you go to those battle raps of me doing those gun bars, and I don't know if you guys know about them, but there are these battle raps where I do like these gun bars and I'm talking, and then there's some other like meme type material of me talking about like hamburgers and different shit, like comedy. And there's all these, you can find them on the Good Bar stuff if you dig, but there's all these
like memes.
They're like meme style, and it was all of us training for our parts later on and what we were going to do in Sepsis. You had Freak Out Will, you had, of course, the beautiful Melissa, you got John rocking, you know what I mean? Boop, boop. And Cam and Bars coming back into the fold. He's really involved with a lot of our video and technology. I fly all the aircraft and do the drones. The girls do the fashion. Johnny, Cam, they build the sets and move the gear around, drive the trucks. Joe does logistics. So everybody has a place. But in terms of creativity, that was really confusing. I lost my place.
Well, talking about that, Melissa, was that your very first time rapping at all?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So before we go, wait a second. Before we ever go any further, I want to give you credit then, because you sound a lot better than Amy Lee trying to rap. You actually had some, because compared to listening what Amy Lee did try to do rapping, and compared to what you did with Mr. Goodbars was fun, was a lot more professional and worth watching and listening to than what Amy Lee created in the studio.
Amy Lee didn't grow up with William and Bars, though.
And it means a lot to me. It really does. I haven't heard her, but I'm sure.
Something needs to be clear here. Melissa grew up in rap music. She didn't rap, but every place that she's ever gone, there's been a rap studio.
Yes.
Hundreds and hundreds of rappers.
I do. When I first met you, there was nothing but rappers.
Hold on. No, she's met legendary rappers. She's hung out with Raz Kaz.
I have.
You've gotten, one time she even got a hotel for Gunplay. Her and Gunplay drove to the hotel and they hung out and got the hotel, and then we went into the hookah lounge. Like that, Melissa knows from new rappers to old rappers to regional rap. Melissa, you know more rappers than rappers.
I listen to a lot of old school rap too.
Yeah, you do. That's true.
So we do got a question. Gio wants to know, so the real question is, if that was the first rap, when can the Swarm respect the second one?
Oh boy, I don't know if I'm ever gonna do that again. I don't know.
If we ever did it again, we'd have to do it seriously, and she's gonna freak out. Even though she could do it.
You know who I really want to?
I'd have to practice a lot.
Yeah, she'd have to practice. But I'll tell you what.
I have a good idea. I think who you should have rap, so Melissa doesn't have to feel alone in this. Make Lexi do it with her.
Lexi could rap.
She probably could. Honestly, I've heard her try. a few
Lexi,
times.
can you rap? Can you rap?
What?
Can you rap?
You want to rap with me?
What if you did a rap song with Melissa? I mean, you're already doing a scream song.
So my goal is for all the Swarmies watching, do me a favor, next time they're live, tell them that you want to hear the next song. Tell them that you want another rap song from them, and donate as many stars as possible by your comment or bits saying that you want to see another rap song. To prove that's how much you want.
Swarmy Fest 2, we're going to sneak in the set. We're just going to start Konami code.
Oh
and
my
you're going to
God.
freeze. Bum, 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 bum.
I'm not gonna know what to do with myself. I'll be like, "What are you doing?"
I'll just start. Oh, yeah.
So Queen Stoner says, I want to hear a second one because I've made my whole entire band listen to your whole catalog. My whole entire group of people I work with me were made to listen to every single one of your songs and study them.
That's amazing.
Wow, that's intimidating.
That's amazing. Honestly, I really think so.
And the reason why I had them do that because I want them to understand where we originated from. Why BTMX is who we are.
It's hard for me to accept that. It's powerful. Very powerful.
So I want to tell thank you, Gio, thank you for another 1,000 stars. Obviously, he wants another rap star.
Thanks, Gio.
Don't do the stars on my live. Do it on their live. If we can all star them and bit them out on their live, just put I want another rap song, and we're gonna put as many bits and gifts.
Gio kind of like Gio does what he wants. He's a very unique person.
Supportive person. If he
And
sees
if
you
he
supporting
feels-
somebody that he supports, he will
Then,
absolutely
right, that's what I was
support
gonna
you.
say. It's hard to right. Once he's targeted in and if he believes in it, he's gonna put it on the table.
Absolutely.
So, also talking about a lot of things that you inspired us to do. Not only did we grow as a company and a more solidified team, because I watched, I've talked to Will on the side, outside of business, talking about how to be more involved and more successful. BTMX is now opening.
Did any of it work?
Let's just say I actually have a successful team now that are all working out.
Anything that I told you that didn't work, I never told it to you.
Actually, it's all working. This is why BTMX is also coming out with our own magazine, where artists and everyone who had talent would like to be a part of that. And it goes from small gamers to YouTubers to small businesses are going to have a chance to be inside of our magazine that's going to be coming out in 2023. It's going to help everyone have a platform to have their songs be written about in great detail. Also get to hear the story behind each artist and where they have it on a page. There's going to be physical forms for everyone to buy. There's also going to be a digital copy for people to buy. But it's also going to be posted up on our over there on our community.
I always tell people when they're doing magazines, especially today, when because a lot of people have us in magazines.
We don't charge.
Some people, I love that. Some people won't offer it in physical form, and the fact that you said that is really cool because I think that's important, especially in a time that there are companies where and I'm telling people all the time, they don't know about this, that people that are trying to do magazines, there's no warehouses or stock rooms or you don't have to worry about that anymore. They'll make there's companies that will print each actual issue to order. So what, what I mean? Say, if you
can print it to order,
but there's companies now that print magazines to order. You don't.
That's what we're doing.
Anything else?
You get it
when
fresh.
You buy a car now. I mean, there's not gonna be any car dealerships like that. They do it like that.
So actually, that's what we're doing. When you get somebody orders a physical copy of the magazine, we actually print it out and send them to them. It's not sitting collecting us.
There you go. Why not?
Yeah.
I think that adds so much value. I still
Absolutely.
I know I'm old, so I still like stuff.
Now, our first magazine is going to come out in March, and it's actually going to be signed by all the artists that are going to be inside of it. So it's going to be one of a kind.
That's really exciting.
Everyone sold that buys a physical copy are actually going to have the physical signatures of every artist a part of it.
I love that.
I can't wait to see you guys do that. That's awesome.
So we also got Jasmine. Yup, I absolutely love you all. We got Han with Let's Rap Battle. We got Harry. I just want Sepsis guitar tab book. Gio says, yes, I will always put it on the table and then flip it if they ever tell me no.
Yes.
No flipping tables.
He tends to flip tables.
He knows what I'm talking about.
Queen Stoner is actually one of my editors for the magazine, because she's actually like my protege. So when I'm not here, she's taking care of business. She says I have a physical copy of things in case I lose, like my electronic copy for whatever. So me and her came up with the idea we needed to do a physical in case something happens to the digital copy. They have a physical copy, but we also want to make the first edition special. That's why all the artists that are featured in it agreed to do this, because when we approach an artist to write about them, we approach them. And the artist that we approach doesn't have to pay a thing to get their story in the magazine, because obviously if I'm reaching out to you, there's a reason, and I like what you're doing, so I'm not going to charge you for me reaching out to you.
You'll probably be the first and only independent effort that's doing that online. I really fuck with you for that, because believe me, all these other fucking skunks, they're all charging.
Yeah, and that's another thing.
For stuff that artists could do on their own, but they're charging for it.
See,
I print my own gift cards and celebrate myself, but I think that's really shitty.
See, my whole thing is, I think that's another thing that inspired me, you guys, because I seen you guys. We all seen when you guys were struggling too at times, where you needed us to pay attention to you guys and be a part of these. And if you guys are a true fan of Sepsis, when they have a show in your city, show the fuck up. Don't say that you're just a fan. Buy a ticket, take your ass to there, and watch them live. That shows that you are dedicated. Buy their merch. Go to their shows, win merch. If you already have that piece, give it to another fan that's brand new. Because us Swarmies have done that, where we have won something, like, hey, we already got that, give it to somebody else.
Well, you know what? Another thing that people could do is just comment and talk. Like, people that don't have, I mean, that doesn't seem like a lot, but like, that's one thing BTMX really does well, is comment on the stuff and talk when you can, and you guys do so much for sharing. It's unbelievable.
You guys share like crazy. I see.
No, you're the king. You're the king. Nobody fucking shares. When people are like, we share. No, we don't. BTMX shares.
Yeah, they do.
Nobody fucks with y'all on sharing. Nobody.
Because we enjoy what you guys do. That's why we're so heavily about promotion. That's one of the services that we do have here, but you're the only band that never has to pay for that. Never.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm not going to argue with that.
Wow.
So we got Bill Brad with What's Up. We got Queen Center. It's louder for the people in the back. Laugh my ass off. Bill Bard goes, hope you all are doing good. So, this is why, another thing is, if you guys are in this business at BTMX, we're an entertainment company. We have podcasts, radio station, we have models, we have gaming. We cover everything that keeps everybody interested. But when you guys are trying to start this up, remember that these artists are people. If you want them to come be a part of you, don't fucking charge them. If you're bothering them for their time, give it to them. Have respect for the band that you supposedly like. I get that you're trying to make money, times are hard, but respect these people because times are hard for them as well. So remember that the next time that you say that you're going to approach somebody, don't tell them a price. Like magazines, Sepsis should not be being paid in the magazine. The magazine should be fucking paying them for their time, because that's taking time from them, from all the 80,000 projects that they have going on.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody ever say any of that online but me. So I can't. I'm not going to dispute that. I completely agree.
I just got one question.
I don't even think anybody's ever heard me this quiet. I'm not even going to say
You've
anything.
completely shut him up. Nobody's ever done that before.
Another thing you should touch on is, like, if BTMX plans on having a music festival, we're not going to charge the artist to be a part of the music festival at all. We're going to charge.
The thing is, you don't have to. People don't have to do that.
The whole thing is,
that's the other thing. People don't have to. People are like, why do people do that? Well, and I said, I don't know. They don't have to. We have festivals. We don't do that. I pay my headliners. We don't charge them anything. I don't charge when we have. We didn't charge those bands to play at Swarmy Fest.
No,
it's a packed house.
See, my whole thing is if you guys are the talent, you guys are going to bring your
Never trying
fans.
anybody to play. That's so fucking strange.
See, my whole thing is for bands like yours, in order for you guys to keep being successful, these companies need to understand that you guys are already bringing a fan follow to that show. So if I'm asking all these artists to be there, I have no right as a company to ask you for money because you're already bringing me money when your fans come to pay to get in. So that's where you guys pay off.
Plus, on top of the ticket sales, you also got to think about the merch.
And the merch is theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we live in a pre-sale world now, you know. Like if you're an artist, the attendance that you care about is at the end of the stage after sound check. That's the attendance. So in an art, picture yourself, you're an artist. But when you sign up to the show, at that time, you're picturing the stage, you're picturing the lights, what you're going to do, what dance, what's going to be the set list, okay? As an artist, that's where your mind goes. So when you think about ticket sales, when you think about ticket lines, when you think about attendance, you think about two major things. When you pull into the venue, are people going to be wearing my fucking shirt? Is there going to be a line? And if there is or isn't, okay, if you're coming in early, the most at bands at our level, I'm not saying this to be fresh. It's just what we're hired for. We headline 90% of the shows that we're hired for. Because because of that, we have to get to the show. So we can't play for free. There are those shows that we do. There are those events that if there's some sort of an advertising perk or there's some sort of partnership deal, or you know what I mean? Like, you know, we might get booked for a single show, but it has two events that are attached to it, and at those particular events. So, you know, when you see merch add-ons, or you see artists make a deal with promoters, especially in terms of like VIPs or after parties, it can get really confusing. So I know a lot of times there's a lot of bad rap on that, but I can tell you as an act that as a small, humble act, you know, we book rooms at $150 to 200 people if possible. When I get rooms with 300 to 500 people in it, I start bringing bands the size of Sepsis in with me. So you know what I mean? So it's like in terms of like getting there, bands at my size, we're not trying to be Aerosmith. We're trying to get to the fucking venue, man. And a lot of times we're okay with living off the merch table. A lot of times we're okay. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times like we can do it if there's shows that support it, if there are events or other opportunities that support it. So I think a lot of times like there are bands that are at my level, at our humble level, that are asking for thousands of dollars, Billy. We don't ask at Sepsis. I don't know what other bands charge, you know what I mean, to go across country or whatever. We don't charge thousands and thousands of dollars. You know, if regional shows, I'm not going to give out metrics, but it would be strikingly affordable if I told you what we charge for local or regional shows. It's strikingly affordable. But you know what I mean? We only start charging when we're going Midwest, or we're going outside of New England. It starts to get difficult for us because we're going out there. We're not going out there in our mom's van. You know what I mean? We got not little girls or kids with us. We got grown folks, women, people that got a part of our show is looking great, smelling great, being in people's faces, meeting people. We can't afford to be like Amy Lee, no offense, but we can't afford to be in the green room hiding out somewhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm a big band. We got to get in there and talk with our people. So when we're booking rooms at $150. We're booking rooms at 200 people capacity. And that's because we're sensible. We know a lot of bands our size are booking rooms for 500 capacity and can't fill them. Mm-hmm. So it's important to understand that, like, when we can't play somewhere, it's because they won't give us the fucking gas money, Billy.
And that's what people gotta understand. Like these concerts where they're trying to have you pay to be a part of it, I think it's dumb because you're already paying them by bringing your fans.
Yes, and an artist is always going to be like the average artist, or like regional, or like I don't want to use the word amateur because I don't think any working band is amateur. And people ask me, when does it get real? And I say, well, you know, it gets real when you're paying your rent with it. It gets real when you're paying your bills with it. It gets real if you have to claim it on taxes. That's when it's real, motherfucker. So, I mean, is it real? Did you make it? You're making it. It's up to you. It's up to you when it is. If it is right here, then that's fucking it. But I mean, you know, if it is, if you can't see it, then good, because you've got all that room. You've got all that headroom to expand like the fucking universe. But if you have its, oh, I can't, you know, if you have to create all these its and all these categories and limitations, so as that, you know, a lot of artists that have the its, you know, artists are looking down the stage. They're only looking down when they're done with sound check or they're about to go on. Then they notice that they don't have draw. They haven't noticed all night until sound check is done and they look down that fucking stage. So, but we live in a pre-sale world, a pre-sale ticket world, and Sepsis knows it because we're an internet band. Listen up, because with promoters, this is a fucking gem. We know that promoters and venues, they don't give a fuck who's at the end of the stage at the end of the night. They don't care if there's 20 people watching us, Billy. All they want to be able to count as many people as they can sell tickets to that aren't coming to the show. They don't, as long as they're not refunds. That's what they care about. We know, whether promoters like to admit it, no matter, people are going to hate me for saying it, but we know that promoters and venues care about pre-sale. And that is where Sepsis is after, is that pre-sale. So because we know that, we know where we can set our value. So places that, when you see places that don't want us to play, it's because they don't want us to play. Because we can look any promoter in the face and tell them what we're going to get. So it's usually a matter of, will they let us advertise? Will they relinquish business tools to us? Will they allow us administrative counsel on their pages? Will they give us advertising power? What do the flyers look like? Are we going to agree on the quality of the art? A lot of times you won't see us play anything because we can't agree on the quality of a flyer. Because Sepsis won't want to be on a flyer that's not quality. And that's, so when you're like, hey, how come you guys won't play at? Because we're not big enough on the art.
Exactly, and that's what makes you guys so amazing, because you guys stay true to who you are, no matter how much the money is.
Facts. No, but really, like some bands that are looking for a big payout, and some bands that are looking to play in front of 36,000 people. I don't want to do that. I'd rather play in front of 150 people that I know who they're there to see.
10 or 10,000.
Right. At least if I'm looking down at the end of the stage, when I walk in from the ticket line until the end, and I told you 90% of the shows that we play, we're headlining. So that means we're playing late, Billy, which means I have to care like the promoters have to. I can't think about who's at the end of that stage. I have to keep those people in that building all night, and no other band has to do that. You get what I'm saying? What Sepsis has to take on as a responsibility as a local or regional act is a responsibility national acts take on.
And you guys are masters at it. So we do got a couple more comments. We got Queen Stern with exactly. We got Bill Bowyer asks, what band got you guys into music?
For me, it was Evanescence.
Oh,
I know we've been talking about it all night, but it really
the
was
truth
Evanescence.
comes out at night.
So, absolutely, no, that definitely started my adventure. When I first saw their music video for "Bring Me to Life," that's really like what gave me a lot of ideas.
You were a little girl. You were like,
No, she absolutely is one of my biggest idols. And I love that she had a male in the song with her. And that's actually one of the things that gave me.
Can I tell you another thing? Why? What's so disappointing about loving Amy Lee? Everybody, when you turn a corner,
not disappointed when people Amy. I like her.
I'm telling you, really turn a corner on the internet. Say, put up on everybody right now, go and post, I love Amy Lee. And watch how many people get mad at you.
I like her older style. The newest style sucks. You can tell she's not passion for it.
I'll be honest, I haven't heard a lot of the new stuff. There is one new song I heard that I really like.
God, we have new music coming out. I hope that doesn't happen to us.
I know, right? Yeah.
Billy, have you heard the new track yet?
Yes,
The
I have.
legendary song by her, though, I do like.
So,
Good.
I'll also tell you guys some good news here at BTMX. When our radio station very first goes live, the very first band they will ever hear will be yours. We took a
That's
tally.
good because we were just banned from a bunch of radio stations. This is perfect.
So what happened is you're actually going to get a title belt in the mail from us, BTMX title belt, because we actually put you guys against like different bands every week, and you guys still held the #1 place as the most liked band, a part of that show.
Hey, man, that's cool.
Thank you.
So
We're getting where we fit in.
So it's not like I just made everybody like make their favorites. I let every show we want to hear everyone's feedback, and that's where our shows is different. It's not just our feedback we want to persuade them with. We want their feedback and how they feel with what song and what. Because some people were like, "Oh, it's a 10." What the fuck is the 10 for? Why do you like it? Why don't you like it? And I have them tell me in detail what song attracted them. And your songs have never been in a second place to anybody else. So you guys have won that spot officially with your guys' own music.
Well, I tell you, I'll be the first to say that, people, we go through moods, sometimes we're in a roses on red mood. Sometimes you're in a non-point mood, it just matters when you catch somebody in the right mood. Right. But, whether we win or whether we're at the top or we move around or we fade away or we come back, we're going to keep writing music. And, we're going to prioritize the fans, right? And I think that that's what great DJs should do. Great DJs shouldn't cater to favoritism or what they like. I think great DJs bring what they like and they mix it with what the fans like.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, to me, all my favorite DJs, introduce and discover music as DJs, and DJs teach fans how to discover, and then, you know what I mean? And then, of course, prioritizing the artists and getting their music out there. All the great DJs I can ever remember were DJs that brought in discovery and also prioritized and got feedback from the fans and what they liked.
I just want to know one thing, okay? When is Melissa Wolf and Will Savant, okay, gonna actually come over to Wake Up Your Life?
That's his show.
Oh, I don't know. When is the show? Is it live?
Yes, it's live. Basically, his Wake Up Your Life is a project he made where you guys talk about everyday struggles, like the real facts of, like you were talking on the Swarm TV, where you were talking about like the struggles of an artist and how this has to be paid for, and this they expect this and they expect this, and he wants everyone to understand the aspects of every person's life on that show, so they can understand that it's not all. It's
sunshine and
sunshine
rainbows.
and rainbows. It's not always, hey, we're famous, we got all this money. That your guys are really struggling people, just like the rest of us. And I think that's where the line blurs for a lot of people, because they say they're fans, but they forget that they forget the person behind it, the person creating it, and what their struggles are in order to make that music. And that's where
best one to actually talk to from you guys is Mr. Goodbars, because
Mr. Goodbars is on the very first episode.
Yeah, I had really hardships when it came right down to it, and my show was about to be canceled because we didn't have no guest star, and I messaged Mr. Goodbars out of a freaking whim through Billy, and Mr. Goodbars is like, hell yes, I'd definitely do it. And it was right before your guys' concert, okay, I think it was back in October.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right before the concert.
Yeah, like the same day of the concert, he said, okay, I'll do this, but I still got the concert to do in like a couple hours. So I'm like, okay, shit, let's knock it out real quick and let's hit it hard.
And see, that's what the nice thing about this whole entire team is, because they're family. If they care about you, and when Will and them say they care about us, they legitimately mean what the fuck they're saying. It's not just for show.
Yeah, it's actually
because
legit.
If you guys pay attention to Will at all, you could tell when he's pissed off about something, or when he's fucking up, and like, but they never lie. You guys never lie about what you're saying.
I was gonna say, caring about people gets you into trouble too. They know when people say they want somebody to care about them, or they want to care about the community, or you want to care about, people being sober. If you want to care about, making ending gangs, if you want to care about prison reform, if you want to care about drug abuse, I mean, you're about to get, if you want to care about music, what happened?
I know, sorry, I just
You're good.
accidentally
Okay, also, you know what I mean? Like, so like if you care about music, I mean, so like there's a lot of bands and there's a lot of people that you're taught in metal, or if you're an amateur or working musician, you're taught, it's cool to not care. You know what I mean? You're influenced to kind of have a chip on your shoulder and not care. And sometimes people even say to me, Will, you're so emotional online. Why don't you have thicker skin? I've done 12 years in prison. I've got thicker skin than you. Trust me. You know what I mean? But people ask me why are you so emotional? Why are you so passionate? And it's because of the opposite of what they teach in metal. It's because I care. And I think caring's cool. I think caring about people's cool. And I don't think that there's a lot of people saying that. I think one of the most powerful things you can do is be a fan of somebody else. And that's what this band is about. And in heavy metal, that's not taught often. I know that that's a rare thing. And that's a threat to the construct, and that's a threat to the ego of heavy metal, and that's a threat to the way that we're supposed to be. But if you're a celebrity, if you're Corey Taylor, you're allowed to be confident.
See,
if you're in Sepultura, you're allowed to be confident. If it's somebody I look up to or idolize or agree with, they're allowed to be confident. But if you never heard of them, who you hear online all the time, this person who, William who, Melissa who, you hear this who thing. It makes you always hear it. You hear who from no one. Nobody's that special. Nobody's entitled. But that's that magnified bubble, that atmosphere that we talked about earlier of the smallest output of people on the internet interacting with each other. Because most of the people on the internet, you don't know. They're fucking strangers. So you're only interacting or reacting or feeding back or becoming fired up about rock and roll is small, man. And you want to talk about underground hip hop and underground rock and roll? It's even smaller. We're a small act, and bands get upset when we say stuff like that, because if you're smaller than us, then you're really disappointed. When we start telling bands the truth and going, hey, man, we've been around for 12 years, they start crying because they go, oh, my God, I haven't been around for 12 months. That's what I got to do. But that's why it comes down to doing things and being involved in things for the right reasons. So, because we're not here trying to get a big check, we're not chasing something. You're told when you're a little kid to follow your dreams. And then you hit puberty and you're told to get a fucking job. You know what I mean? And we've been through that. And we've seen the quality, the control that the industry has for artists like us. And we're carving a new path, Billy. We really are, man. And it doesn't have anything to do with making music for strangers. It's about finding and discovering people who resonate with you, man.
See, and what a lot of people who are DJs claim to be DJs, and I'm sorry to say this, when you're doing this, you guys need to care about the people that you're trying to, present. You need to care. You need to care about.
A lot of DJs are on Facebook, that very small percentage of output. There's not a lot of rock and roll or heavy metal DJs on. So let me tell you something, just for your knowledge. As soon as your radio station goes live, prepare for war. Because I said it now. Remember I said you're going to be able to rewind this motherfucker. I said it now because the online neighborhood of wannabe, stay-at-home, middle-aged, drunk mom and dads pretending to be online fucking MTV headbangers ball VJs is a very small neighborhood. And they all fight and dick ride and trade bands around like Pokemon and stab each other in the back, and they all play Ring Around the Fucking Rosie. It's musical chairs, and they all compete, and they all have their little promotion packages and all the bands that they make, and they all collect them all, and they all talk shit about it. And the only reason why I know about it is because it's such a small community of people online, And I don't mean small people online like rock and roll. I mean like fucking Facebook in general. There's not a lot of American people on Facebook. You got to understand this. So when you start to carve and you start to pop that bubble and you start to get down to the celebrities don't talk to you. They don't talk to me. And they're definitely not talking to these fucking nerds on internet radio. We talk to each other because you and I, Billy, are in that very small nucleus of output of people who give a shit. Because you and I know the greater majority does not give a fuck.
And the nice thing, though, is also with this, Gio says, War, just give me names. I'll make a call.
No.
Well,
don't be worried about it because it was a total of only 2 radio stations that aren't stations. There's no frequencies. There's no directors. There's not a valet. There's not a building with an antenna. When you use these words, when people see these guys on Facebook, they drink Milwaukee's Best and Pabst Blue Ribbon, and they go, I have a radio station because they have some HTML JavaScript website that allows streaming. There are several different types of radio station, and it doesn't matter which one you want to choose, whether it be internet, satellite. The responsibility of DJs is still the same, to be the middleman between musicians, discovery, and fans. At no time do you ever hear anything about favoritism. And that's why they have managers, directors, and people in the mail room that send out postage and thank you cards and invitations. And there are no bands, Billy, there are no fucking bands that are online or anywhere or on stage that are present to speak on behalf of these internet radio stations on Facebook. And thank God you guys are starting something, because I know whatever you do is going to drive those fucking nerds crazy, because you're going to fly that star.
See, what also is pissing them off already is because they charge people to be a part of their stage. And guess how much we charge for an artist to be a part of ours? Exactly nothing. You submit your music, you get it on the radio station.
And that might be difficult starting up, but let me tell you something, man. If you make, this is not an industry, but it is a business of contacts. And you stay in contact with me, you keep doing the right thing, Billy, we're going to spend money together. So we got that. That's called business.
But the nice thing is
the business of contacts. So you can have a million motherfuckers that say that they don't believe in what you do. But we're one of the biggest bands in New England. New England is a 6-state region. We're one of the biggest bands out here. And we believe in you. That's because unlike a lot of people at our level, we're not pretending that we're untouchable or that our value is so high or that we tune our guitar so well that we can't talk to you.
Yep.
See, and the whole thing is that you guys were the very first band that opened that door. And then I guess like I did my interview with you because I asked questions like no other person has.
Bands at our level, bands with, 25,000, 30,000 followers, 7,000 followers. They won't talk to anybody, Billy.
Wait a second.
I want to tell everybody, go on out there, unless you're buying something from them or you need a ticket. Well, I want you to go talk to them like you talk to Sepsis. It'll never happen.
I have gotten that chance because of you guys giving me the strength to do it. I got to speak with Tommy Vex on a live, Chris Webby, and they both said they said that they watched my interviews, the way I interview different artists. Then they enjoy it so much because I'm not just talking about the music. I'm not just trying to promote the next album. I'm trying to promote them as a person.
You know why? And that's the energy you put out. I'm telling you, just don't ever fucking change that about y'all, man. You guys have learned. You guys have come so far. You guys are so generous. You've watched you've seen all the things. You've seen the mistakes. We've made the mistakes. You made the mistakes. We all have. We know what greedy looks like. We know what secrets look like. We know what lies look like. You know what I'm saying? Like, just don't do it. Just forget it. There's so many other people out there already doing it. All you got to do is be 2% better than them to win. It's nothing, man. It's nothing. It really, because think about it this way. If you guys are doing this and you guys are keeping it real, you're the only real fucking radio station on Facebook then.
And talk about keeping it real.
There ain't. People like, oh, you're a Facebook band, Sepsis. I said, yes. We're actually a band that admits that we're on Facebook.
So talking about learning from you guys, learning how you guys conduct business, you guys always stayed true from the beginning all the way up to now. You never changed. So I've stuck with that. And a lot of people, like my company, I had partners get upset with me because I turned down bands like Nickelback. I don't like Nickelback. I'm not going to do an interview for them. I'm not going to promote their shit. When you guys were part of a certain label, they tried to send me another artist that was my fucking hero. Find out he was a piece of shit. I'm not gonna fucking interview somebody that doesn't mean what I'm doing. That's totally separate. And that's what BTMX is different. We care about the people watching.
You shouldn't have to interview people, and this is for bands too. Two-way street. I don't think people should do business if they're not familiar with each other. Like, what happened to taking a few moments?
I can agree with that.
Like, there's too much of that going already.
Mhm.
Like, so my whole thing is like, I made a joke earlier about not doing interviews with people. I'll do an interview with my friend here. But you know what I'm saying? Like, seriously though. But the reason why I feel like that is because of that. It's because, if you know that I got a strong personality, and you haven't done the research on me, or you haven't checked out my music. I had a fucking manager one time, and I caught this dude up. It was fucking priceless. We were talking on the phone, and we were having a dispute. He was part of a management team, and it was him, another guy, some celebrity, a record label fucking jack off, and a couple other buddies were part of this management team. They were supposed to be managing us. I paid him a bunch of money, and at one point, I lost my temper, and I had the guy on the phone. And I said, listen to me, you fucking walrus. I said, how many songs are on my new album? And there was a pause on the phone. He said, huh? I said, what do you mean, fucking huh? I said, I got the best phone in America. I know you can't hear me. I said, what is your first favorite 3 songs off our new album?
Hate on His Arm, Falling in Love, and off strings.
Higher strings. And honestly, the average fan, the average person that really loves us, I expect them to know 1 or 2 songs and fuck one up. Because that's just the world. Nobody has the time for that bullshit all the time. I love Jack Nicholson. I don't know what the fuck he's doing today. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a break. Like, people love Melissa. They don't know what she's gonna. You know what I mean? Come on, we know that. Some bands don't know that because they got the rock star starter package and they think that everyone's fucking staring at them all the time. But it's like, no, the truth is I don't expect fans to know more than a couple songs. Why? And this is why I know, because I can look at the end of the stage and I see what people singing along to.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So so I'm impressed when somebody knows a song or two. But this was a guy that was supposed to be managing me, and I said, "What are your favorite songs?" He knew he lost me. He knew he lost it. I said, "Man, we're done." He said, but Will. I know. Nope, no, that's it. We're done.
So talking about
the point is he wasn't even familiar with my music. And that's the new way to approach people online. That's how common it is. That's how normal it is. These promotion companies and package companies and PR people and heavy metal rock people, they go and they find bands with 600 likes and they go, I've got a promotion package for you. And hey, when we get off, I'm about to send you all your competitors and people that are about to get mad at you.
Well, I know I pissed off a couple of them because like we get wrote at least by one different company where they are saying that we're taking artists from them. Well, I says, well, then don't treat the artists like shit.
No, I mean, those artists are leaving them. Artists are whatever they want. If you're a DJ and your whole goal, if you're a label and you're saying, I prioritize music, I prioritize artists, and then you punish artists, that's pretty clear evidence that you don't like artists. If you have a radio station and you remove music from the station, then how the fuck do you like music? What kind of DJ removes music? If your whole thing is like, I have a station. Well, what the fuck is the station for? It's for music. Okay, great. And what is your job as a DJ? It's my job to be the middleman between fans that are listening to the station and discovering music that I like, along with music that they like. Okay, fantastic. But why did you remove music from the station? Was it offensive? No. Well, there's whole genres that are offensive.
We play it all.
genres of music that are made out of shooting each other and being gangsters and objectifying hoes and slapping motherfuckers and going to prison. I mean, there's whole genres. Oh, the only difference is there's only one skin color that's allowed to do it. So if you're allowed, if that's the only goddamn music that you can have on the radio, that you're allowed to shoot each other and kill each other's brothers. There's only one type of music that's allowed to do that. So if I go to your radio station, I say, hey, can we make songs about killing dogs? You'll say no. Like, can we make songs about
Depends on how it sounds.
Say no. You know what I mean?
Actually, on our radio station, it depends on how it sounds. If it doesn't sound like you're singing through a can, you're on the radio station. And the nice thing about this is I won't deny
had that same quality.
See, I will not
I don't give a shit.
See, my whole thing is I will not deny an artist, and there's been times where I've actually sent artists to Mr. Goodbars to have their music mixed and mastered to send back to me, so I can apply it.
That's funny at the same time.
Because Mr. Goodbars mixes and masters our podcast when he separates the audio from the video, and that's why we were able to reach 28 countries for our Spotify, and we have close to almost 3,000 listeners for our podcast, which you can find on Google Play, iHeartRadio, Pandora, everywhere. Now, and that was because us team working with Sepsis, because Mr. Goodbars will tell me if this artist sounds like needs help. And now I will hook up the artist with Mr. Goodbars because they have the time.
He's being like he's helping out with that's what a radio director would do.
So basically, all our shows from now on in 2023 are also going to be part of the radio station live. And now our radio station is going to be unlike any others. We're not going to be stopping music from being played because of the way it's set, what things are being said. It's not going to be focused around one genre. There's going to be time slots for certain genres throughout the day. We're going to have worldly music, metal music, rock music, death music, horrorcore, synthcore, new metal. I mean, we're gonna have rap, country, jazz, Nordic. I mean, all the music that's being submitted will have a home, but it's up to the fans to keep that song playing in that list, because we'll be paying attention to the viewers and that song, and then we'll reach out to that artist and ask if they have something else new to add in that place.
I'm guessing there'll probably be like a live chat or something that goes on, or something like a lot of a lot of stations have like a live interactive chat. People can do that.
And we will, because the nice thing about this is we're not just coming out as a website and a radio station, but this is also going to be an app that's free in Google Play. You're going to be able to download BTMX and have us read at the tips of your fingers. That radio station's live. So let's say they're not playing a Sepsis song. Right now they're playing Dying Oath. And you want to listen to Sepsis next. You just you let us know, either by calling us or putting in the comments. That song will automatically come up next.
That's like the old school way, man. That's fun.
That's cool.
And that sounds like a lot of fun.
For sure.
That's like what I grew up with. Used to call on the phone. That's something like that's old people stuff. You probably don't even know about that, do you? You used to be able to call the radio station.
I do. I know about that. Yeah.
You win tickets and shit. It'd be fucking cool. They put you on the radio. Oh my fucking god, motherfucker!
People used to do that when I was a kid.
Well, now they don't.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah.
Actually, Will, I gotta vouch on this. Okay, here in Ohio, there are like 4 or 5 radio stations that are on the FM that actually still do call-in requests on a daily basis.
Yep.
And that's
93.3 The Wolf.
You got 101. Yeah.
You said that's in Ohio?
Yep.
Yeah. You can check him out on iHeartRadio too.
Look up Fast Freddy, because I've actually. Remember when I told you a while back? I told you I had your guys' music played because I actually know the DJ who's been doing this for the last 35 years, Fast Freddy, and I sent him your music. He's like, "Holy shit, this is being played!" And the next thing I know, your music was played here in Ohio on 93.3 The Wolf.
Wow, that's dope, man. Holy shit!
Right.
Thanks, man. Well, that's good because a lot of people don't like to play music. Usually, if it's not, somebody's not paying for it a lot of times. So that's good, man. No, hey, man, I really don't even know how to thank you enough.
See, another thing is that we are coming close to the end because these guys need to eat. But so if you have any
we'll probably start to
Yes, starving to death for sure. Definitely food time.
Melissa, you're gonna go live and do some gaming so we can send you some food money.
I might go live.
If you just offered to feed her, she's gonna go live. Now she's gonna go live.
Yeah, I'll be live tomorrow on Twitch. For those that are interested, I'll be painting.
We do have ICG after this, though.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know what ICG is, and pay attention to the logo up in the corner, that's that wasp with it inside those Halo helmets that's playing right beside them.
On his neck. Show it to him. Look at Johnny's neck. That's weird, isn't
You gotta
it?
move your hair.
Move your hair, Johnny.
Oh yeah, look, he's pollinating us. Anyways.
It doesn't pollinate.
So definitely ICG is going to go live. We constantly share the content. If you guys are in there and you're swarmies, share their other fucking content. That's what the fuck we do. We make sure the swarmies going. Sepsis' content's in there. Mr. Goodbar's content in there. Johnny's live doing something else like singing to himself. We got that going in there. We have content of theirs only flowing in there.
Nah, you guys get it. Like, you guys get, you know, I don't know what the magic sauce is over there, but you guys got the formula, man. I real recognize real, man. Don't stop. I love it, man. He's trying to leave. You guys go. Where you guys going? You guys out of here.
See, no. What we actually do over here at BTMX is we actually pay attention to the artists, we pay attention to the platforms, we pay attention to the people and the individuals themselves, not just your music, but the individual, Will Sepsis or Melissa Wolf or Johnny or Mr. Goodbars. We do not just pay attention
Ginger, Lexi.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Any person that's a part of your family, if they get attention from BTMX, one person of our team is always in your life. Always.
That's awesome.
And most of the time, actually, you got like 3 members because you either got me, Will, and Jasmine,
Rocky Rob.
or Rocky Rob, me, and Will.
Which is now, and talk about Rocky Rob. Rocky Rob's been doing music for the last 25 years. He is now taking over our label for me so he can help me with the artist aspect, because we're not just, we're also a label. We also take younger artists, we help them with multimedia management, how to do this. We teach them step by step. And then if they find somebody else that signs them that's bigger and better than us, we encourage it because we're just a stepping stone.
I love that. I love that. That's kind of what we do too. That's we try to tell young bands. Not even young
so talking about
trying to bring people in.
And it all started with an interview with you amazing people. The reason why BTMX was born, breaking the mold, because you guys were already starting to break the mold. You were breaking the mold on what metal was supposed to be, and you created this beautiful image. And then your music just adds like a amazing aura to it that keeps us highly addicted to what's coming out next. And then she does the gaming, which keeps us more involved in your life, because now we're seeing that you're also engaging in something else that keeps our minds busy. So, it's people like you who are multi-talented and loving that keeps us fans alive.
Thank you so much. Really, that's heavy.
No, thank you, man. We don't plan on stopping, man. We're gonna love on y'all hard, man. We fuck with BTMX. You're one of our first partners. We don't take on a lot of partners or affiliates and people like that. But
yeah, man, you're family.
You know what I mean? But you're here with us. We're here with you.
So guys, don't forget that we're gonna be starting our challenge after Melissa's done painting, because we're not gonna interrupt that live. But we are starting our 48-hour challenge starting tomorrow. It's a holiday misfit special where we're gonna be doing 48 hours straight of going live, gaming, music, interviews. Wow. You get to speak with our moms.
That's really good too, because we'll pop in. It's a low streaming day for us, so we'll make sure we pop in all day too, man. To fuck with y'all.
But we're at the same time we're also doing this event because we're raising money for breast cancer on 2 different forms. Every time we do a holiday event, we pick one charity and we raise money for them. None of that money is seen by BTMX. If you donate to the link, it automatically goes to the charity. So
that's really cool that you're doing a charity like that. Love it.
Yeah, every holiday event we do something for charity. We pick one charity out as a group, and then we earn money for them. Halloween Massacre, this year we earned $50,000 for St. Jude's Hospital.
Holy
Wow.
I actually got a gold trophy in the mail from Extra Life for just
Wow.
gaming. So it's basically us doing all our shows at once. You guys have a great time. You're going to be hearing lots of Sepsis music. You're going to be hearing from different artists as well. Like Anoxia is a big fan of your guys' too. She hopes to be on stage with you guys soon. Her husband Corey from Carbon Stone loves what you guys do. I've got the chance to have both of them, and they're big parts of BTMX as well. They want to be on stage with you guys. I've also got to speak to the lead singer of Wise Man Fears, and they really love what you guys are doing, and that's why I'm so focused on thinking about having a GoFundMe for a festival for BTMX, so I can have all these artists. And I mean, it's not just gonna be one genre of music; it's gonna be a 3-day festival. I plan on having with.
When do you plan on having it? Do you know? Have you had any ideas?
Well, I'm going to plan it for 2 years out so I can raise enough money because I wanted to have it at a fairground so I can have 3 stages going at the same time.
That's big.
That's a big undertaking.
Yeah.
If you ever want like just some general help, I'll sit down with you, man, for an hour, the next couple of weeks and just give you like a few tricks that I might have.
Yeah, I definitely need to speak with you about that because you're the one that gives me the ideas on how to do this correctly, and so does Mr. Goodbars. So guys, don't forget to check out Melissa live on, especially it's a lot better to interact with her over on Twitch. Don't forget, don't be stingy. Send her bits, send her stars. She's spending time with you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll be on around 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Sepsis Band. You can find me there.
All right, and then we already got Dragon's Life Gaming say I'll provide a security team.
That way, because Johnny here, he's going to need a lot of help for the booping.
Oh yeah, and then not only that, we're also not just having big bands come. We're also opening this up to any artist from any genre who wants to be on stage.
I think that is fucking awesome. I think that you get the right larger acts that you want, and then you fucking open the door for some fucking fresh talent, man. I think you got yourself a party. I would call me about it because I might have something sneaky to help you with.
That would be great because that was one of my dreams to have a 3-day music festival.
We're going to Ohio, so you know what I mean. Like if we're gonna go to Ohio, you might want to catch a ride. You know what I'm saying? We might be. Well, the thing is, let's say we're going to Ohio this year. You should come and do something with us in Ohio this year, and that will start. That'll give you a launch pad to do what you're doing.
So talking about launch pads, we are actually going to be hosting our next holiday event is going to be Valentine's Massacre, which we're going to be raising money for another form of cancer. It is urethra cancer. It's not very much heard of, but we're going to be raising money for that.
That sounds really upsetting.
But the concert's going to also be able to be accessed not also from home for people that can't make it out or just can't go to the show. And we're actually going to have 360 cameras throughout the building so they can see the stage, the artists, and the fans all at the same time. And actually have like a real life experience if they can't be there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I want to go.
So definitely going to be talking to you later, Will. If you guys want it, if you guys think this music festival is a great idea, let us know in the comments. Don't forget, we are live right now on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. We want to say a big thank you to everybody subscribing to our YouTube channel. We're up to 491 subscribers already. Thank you guys so much.
Congratulations.
If you don't believe Sepsis is a sponsor, look at just scroll a little bit on our YouTube. They're right there in our sponsors. Their page is right there.
Right, we don't fucking sponsor nobody. It's true. We really don't.
You'll also catch my affiliated star that I've earned with them on all our posters because we always make sure Sepsis, gets the respect because if it wasn't for them, there wouldn't be us. So
You guys are incredible.
at the end of the show, this video is going to be updated on all platforms of what it's going to say. You're going to be able to click on all their links. Don't forget, Melissa Wolf is not just an amazing singer and model and a gamer, but she also has business services. So if you're a struggling company that needs a perfect Discord made, she has services. You got artwork that you can buy from them. You got Mr. Goodbars who mixes and masters music. You got John over there if you need to learn how to play bass. Give him some money and learn how to fucking play a bass. I mean, they all do something that can benefit you. So check into them.
John does do stuff. He does. Look at him. He's like, yeah.
He does stuff.
He does stuff.
He's good at it.
And he's pretty good at it.
So we're going to go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you guys so much for your time. And you guys have a wonderful stream tomorrow. And I'll see you guys.
Thank you, Billy. Yes. I'll catch you tomorrow, brother. Give me a call, okay?
All right. Catch you later. Thanks for having us.
So, guys, we're going to finish the show with one more song. You get to see the amazing band members in the back. That's Mr. Goodbars. That's all art I did myself over here at BTMX. Just out of appreciation for them. They're an amazing new drummer. You got to bring those flames. And the reason why I thought about that was the one music video when he was messing with the pyro effects. Then we had the whole entire band. They're going to expand the fucking galaxy. We're a part of this swarm here at BTMX. We highly respect the music, but we also highly respect the people behind it. ICG Gaming, as you can see, they are a Halo community. If you're in that type of gaming, go over and watch them. They have amazing content. This is an amazing band, an amazing family, and I am honored to be a part of it. That's why we did this dedication show today. So we're going to go into one of their songs that I think you guys all love. If you haven't heard of them, definitely go check them out. And this is the last song of the show, and this is their song, Push.
Children